Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And for a few minutes, I just want to talk a little bit about former linebacker coach of the New Orleans Saints, Mike Nolan. Now, some of you probably noticed that I used the word former. Well, that's because, according to sources, Mike Nolan has left the New Orleans Saints to become the new defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys hired former Green Bay Packer head coach Mike McCarthy to be the new head coach, and he brought along with him Mike Nolan. This right here is a very crushing blow to the New Orleans Saints. And if you have been following the New Orleans Saints over the past decade, you know that one of the Achilles heels of the New Orleans Saints was the linebacker play. The inability to be able to cover the tight end and the running backs, and also to make key tackles in crucial situations. When they hired Mike Nolan as the linebacker coach, the linebackers improved. And this guy has a track record of being a successful defensive mind everywhere that he went. From the time that he was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, he had people like Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman at the linebacker position. And now if you look, Patrick Willis was one of the guys that was named as one of the semifinalists for the Hall of Fame. Navarro Bowman is probably going to be one of those guys that end up being a finalist one day. And if you look at Demario Davis, a guy who was a little bit of a journeyman before he came to the New Orleans Saints, playing for the Browns and the Jets, he has him playing at an all-pro level. The Dallas Cowboys really got something in Mike Nolan. I'm not upset at this. I understand, it's just like if you had a job and somebody called you and say, I want to promote you, or if there's a better job opportunity for you, I'm pretty sure you'll try to take it as well. The Dallas Cowboys got something in Mike Nolan. They have a lot of young linebackers on that team. You got Jalen Smith, you got Lathan Vander Esch. These are two young guys that could be the NFC East version of Luke Kuechly, and Thomas Davis. So I think that with his help, I think they can improve and they can play on an all-pro level. So the question is now, what do the Saints do as far as a defensive coordinator, or not a defensive coordinator, a linebackers coach? I just think that they may need to go into the college ranks, or maybe this is something that my grandmother brought to my attention. Possibly getting former New Orleans Saint linebacker Jonathan Vilma as the linebackers coach. Now, I actually like that move because if you've been following the Saints and you followed the career of Jonathan Vilma, he was one of the guys that always got the linebackers playing in the right position. He was a very smart linebacker from his time with the Jets, and then, he was a mainstay with the New Orleans Saints. And I think that him coming in might be very, very helpful to the team. His knowledge of the game, his abilities that he possessed, I think that, his youth can kind of go with some of these young linebackers. So that's a good move. But besides that, I think they might want to go into the college ranks and try to pick somebody up. But all in all, they just need to find somebody that can match the intensity of Mike Nolan. I mean, you just can't just put anybody in that place, because this guy demands excellence out of the linebackers, and I would not want to see the Saints linebackers slip due to the fact that Mike Nolan has went to Dallas. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about the Saints linebacker situation? Who do you think they need to select as the linebackers coach? Do you think that the Saints need to revamp their defense completely, get a new coordinator and all? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been a State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com. And also, you can check out the State of the Saints podcast on Facebook, Facebook.com, search State of the Saints podcast. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?